What up, Sammy?
Hey, what's up?
How you feeling, buddy?
Buddy, I'm feeling fantastic. We're here in Pula, Croatia. They
Fuck
probably
yeah.
know that, right?
Yeah, they know that.
They know, okay, yeah. This, everyone in Pula, Croatia right now, all 4 million of them. We just went to swim in the Adriatic Sea. It was insane. We just went swimming out there. Some guy was talking to Pavone, some furry guy. It was hilarious. We had a good time, man. It was a real good time.
You talked to a furry guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Middle of the water. We just met in the middle of the water.
You met a...
Yeah, you know how Pappy is. So he was just like, hey, what's up? And the guy's like just swam away.
We're smoking the same shit, but you met a furry dude and I went on a meeting. Like,
yeah. and canceled the show.
Yeah. Yeah, we had so much trouble. We had to cancel the show in a club the show was supposed to be at.
Yeah.
Like 5 hours before the show. But we managed. Because that's how we do it.
You managed. This guy found a new venue in 10 minutes. He's like, here's plan A, B, and C. It takes us like a long time to set up a show.
See, I'm not talking about being persistent. I'm actually doing it.
He's doing it, man.
Thanks, bud. So, Sammy is a stand-up comedian from Toronto,
yes,
Ontario, in Canada.
In Canada, the one, yeah.
The one.
Like,
so,
yeah, where Drake's from, you know?
Yeah. You started from the bottom, now you're actually here.
Yeah, right at the bottom in a different country. It's nice.
So, you actually started from the bottom, you're an immigrant.
I was born in Egypt. Then I moved to Canada with my family when I was like 3 years old. And then grew up in Scarborough. And then
started in comedy.
Yeah.
How did you start? Like, how did you fall in love with comedy? How did you fall in love with comedy?
You know, it's weird. Like, I've always liked comedy. My dad's always been a funny guy, and then the shows you watch and all that stuff. That's always the genre that I've liked. Then when I was maybe 13, 14, my younger brother was sick, and he was in a hospital downtown. I'd go down to the hospital and I'd go see him. And then I'd be like really bummed out because he was in there for like 30 plus days. So I would go downtown, go to the Yuck Yucks, which is a comedy club in Toronto.
Yeah, one of the it's a chain.
Big chain. Yeah, it started out in Toronto. It's everywhere in Canada. It's like the main chain. So
John Candy started there.
Well, he was Second City, but I mean, all those people are all tied in there, right? Like, we only had a few. Yeah,
if you guys don't know, like, Canada has some of the best stand-ups ever.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah, like Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Who's we watched his clips yesterday. We almost died laughing.
It's so subtly freaking hilarious. I love that guy.
And like John Candy is also a Canadian actor. Eugene Levi, Dave Foley.
Yeah.
Like bunch of people who made Wayne's World. Mike Myers. Austin Powers. Actually, Mike Myers is the inspiration for this whole setup. Thank you for the SNL and the best sketch ever. Wayne's World, and then the movie Wayne's World, which inspired me to have a show in my own place.
That's so funny. It's
so
awesome.
Actually, thank you, Canada, for this.
Thank you. Well, we're sleeping in this room, which is amazing. This place is ridiculous. It's just unreal. It's like this heaven. It's just rooms of people hanging out. This guy's got all this pot kicking around, right? I don't touch that stuff. You know me.
He means like
flowers.
Flower pots.
Yeah.
Pots.
One of those.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm gonna translate the fuck out of this. So Yuck Yucks.
So yeah, I'd go down there and watch comedy just to like get me out of that mood. So I was like, okay. And when I was down there, I met this guy, a very funny comedian. His name is Dave Merhanch, and he was performing at the time. He would do like, he was just a normal comic, but he was Lebanese. I just felt like a connection. I'm Egyptian, he's Lebanese. I'd never seen anyone Middle Eastern doing comedy ever. So we started talking after the show, and we started hanging out. And at one point, he's like, you should try it. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, you're funny. You should try it. I'm like, all right. And I started, and that was it.
When and where was your first open mic?
I don't remember the exact first one. But I do remember in my early days, like with less than 5 shows under my belt, doing a show in Scarborough at this bar, and it was an ambush show. Like no one knew it was a show. We would just show up and just at one point the music would kind of cut off, but they never turned it off completely. It would still play in the background, but it would quiet down a little bit, and then we'd just start talking, and that's it. And the show just happened. So that is what I think was one of my first shows, if not the first show.
Yeah, that's not a great setup for.
Oh, definitely not. No, it was ugly for a while.
So how did you start? You started going out to open mics.
Yeah.
How big is the Toronto scene, open mic scene?
Toronto's huge. You can do like 4 or 5 shows a night. There's that many going on a
That's
night
amazing.
on average, right?
Yeah.
It's massive. There's so many people who are just starting out in comedy, and a lot of like really big names that are staying in the community, or at least come back for a little bit, you know, and they go tour, they go do whatever, and then they come back. The scene's amazing. It's actually really good in Toronto. It's really big.
What are your favorite places to perform in Toronto?
Comedy bar is definitely the place.
Yeah.
You go to Toronto, it's like the Cellar. It's the place everyone wants to go, and it's a bar. So you're in there. There's 2 places to perform comedy. In the middle, it's a big bar. So even if you're not on a show, you probably want to go down there and hang out.
Yeah.
But the shows are really nice there. I have to say the Rivoli, the Alt Dot Comedy Lounge at the Rivoli. It's every Monday night, and it's one of the great rooms. Like Robin Williams had performed there when he was in town. Yeah, Jim Gaffigan performed there like 2-3 weeks ago. Just dropped in on a Monday to perform.
Oh, wow.
Hannibal Buress pops in there. Like yeah.
Yeah, this is like saying that you play 5-a-side, and then Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, and people like that drop in.
Yeah, it's huge, right? So. Yeah, it's definitely an awesome place, and it's kind of weird sometimes because the crowds are mixed and whatever. Sometimes they're in there for comedy, sometimes they want a night out and their friend dragged them in. But if you could play there, it teaches you a lot of humility, right?
And do you go? How long have you been doing comedy for?
It's a fucking long time. Like probably 14, 15 years, but it's been up and down where I've done it for a while and then stopped for whatever reason in my life. And a lot of people tell you can't stop, and it's probably true. You need that momentum. It's good. But it's one of those things, like if you don't do it for a while, you start feeling itchy, you know? You want to get back. You want to do it. So, yeah.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, like we're spoiled in Toronto. We got a lot of stage time. There's a lot to go around. Yeah. So it's really nice, but with dipping in and out, it's just, you know, work gets in the way. Women, you know, like yeah. When I met my wife, I didn't do stand up for I think 8 months in one stretch.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and you know, whatever. I don't care. I'm not ashamed of that.
No.
People fall in love. I love you, baby.
Hi,
Tash.
Tash.
Yeah.
Hi, Tash. And he's been good if you're watching this. He actually slept most of the time while he was here.
It seems so suspect.
Yeah, I know.
It's like when you walk in and a kid goes, I didn't break it, right? Like, no one asked. Okay.
I know. And in those 14, 15 years, have you started touring? Have you been like...
I'm kind of lucky because I'm a flight attendant. So
you're touring.
Yeah. So I've been doing it. I've been a flight attendant for 11 years. So whenever I'm in another city, I'll just reach out and try and get on shows there. And so it's kind of good. Like, you know, people, especially when you're not from a place, when you're in there, everyone's kind of paying attention to you. So you get a fresh audience, even if it's a bunch of comics in the room and all that stuff. So that's, kind of get to do that. And my family lives in Florida, so when I'm down there, I'll do shows in Florida too.
In Tampa?
In Tampa.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice, because I've gotten to go to a few places, you know?
You've performed all over the North America.
All over North America, yeah.
What are your favorite cities to perform at?
New York, when you can get a spot, it's nice, right? I mean, it's such a packed city, but
there's such a different vibe about comedy in New York.
It's a mecca. You have to go there. If you're a stand-up comic or a stand-up comic fan, you have to go to New York at some point. Yeah, you're gonna have to. It's part of it.
Yeah, if you just did one open mic and went to New York and watched the show, you'll feel like you belong there.
Yeah, it's a nice vibe. I like it. Other than that, Chicago was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got to perform some stand-up there. It was a while back, but I like that. Toronto was amazing. And but Vancouver is also a nice scene in Canada. I'd have to say Vancouver is beautiful. They have just as many. I don't know what the fuck they're doing out there.
They're playing video games apparently. I hope there are 2 Canadians in the next
room. It sounds like a homicide is happening right now. It should be fine. And then silence. Yeah, that's horrifying.
I just told him he's like the loudest Canadian I have ever seen.
That couldn't have been better time.
Shut
up! Shut up, Pavel!
Hey, bud.
We are doing a serious television
We're doing a show!
We're actually just about in the middle of it, so it's cool.
Yeah.
So, second 10 minutes. You can go. Wait. Now you're good.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Alex was losing in a UFC 3 game. He's really loud. You guys are so different. He's so excitable and you're like...
Yeah.
You're his counterweight.
You know what we're like? We're like that, the big dog and the little dog.
Yeah.
Right? The sheepdog and then the little dog hopping around. That's what we are.
He's more excitable than my dog.
Yeah. And high energy, man.
People can hear my dog.
Yeah.
So you said Chicago.
Yes. Chicago, amazing city. Vancouver has so many mics a night, so many shows a night, and then amazing talent coming out of there too. There's a lot of and it's a different, you know how every city has its own vibe for comedy? West Coast comedy, but it's like Canadian, so it's, it has a very different vibe and it's great. It's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Vancouver at some point in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
And on all of those shows, like how do you work for shows? How do you get shows? How do you prepare for shows? Like, what's your comedy day like?
Okay, so if I'm like trying to get on shows, honestly, Facebook and all that kind of stuff is good. Sometimes you have leads. Sometimes you have people who have been in those cities who have had a good time at this show and whatever. And when they find out you're going, they'll either be like, oh yeah, hit up these people and whatever. Yeah. So then you just look them up and you message them. You're like, hey, I want to come to your show. I'm in your city, and that's it. Preparing for a show, I write. I'm not a strict writer, so I won't write out in full or any of that stuff. But I do like to have a guideline with my sets. And then I go up there and just kind of do it, right?
Yeah.
So I like crowd work, of course, it's fun. But I need to have a guidance. Like some people, like even Pavon could probably do like an hour of crowd work. Like it's insane. Like no questions asked, right? But he's like on the street. Everywhere we walk in, he's just like, oh, just like walks in. Everyone's like, okay, all right.
Like, it's so fun. Like, wherever we go, he tells me, oh, you're so friendly with people. While he met 20 people. In the last, 5 minutes. Hey, what's up? Hey, you guys. Like, he's such an Italian.
He walks out hugging people. Yeah. It's like, all right, that's
he's
nice.
Such an Italian.
Thanks for the gelato.
And how do you write? How much do you write? And how do you prepare for writing? Do you have writing sessions? How do you do it?
No, I mean I have a few friends that I'll try to bounce stuff off for sure, but never a proper writing session. For me, I write I'm always just taking down notes on my phone. I'm always just setting up all my thoughts or what I think is funny, and then you go back and you're like, that wasn't funny at all, right?
The worst for me is I write something, and I don't know if it's a setup, if it's a punch, if it's a short explanation of the thought I had. I have some Borgs and ants. Work on that. Okay.
Yeah, you got nothing to go on. But yeah, then I just if I'm doing a show that I've already performed at, and I had a cycle in Toronto, but shows change sometimes. Like they'll shut down the new show or whatever. But I used to have a cycle I'd run my shows through. So if I was writing a new set and I wanted to run it, I would start at like one place and then I'd go to the next and next and next because I could work it out along the way.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So there used to be this pub in Toronto and there was this show in the back and it had light audience, but you could workshop there. And it had regulars. It was just a weird audience, but like a small group of regulars that was always
amazing,
there. Yeah. So we'd go there and you'd run your material there, and then I'd go to the next show up, which is a little bit better. You need to be a little more polished, and that's it. So by the time I got it through the end, I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna tweak and whatever. And then you're always working on material, obviously, but yeah.
That's incredible. Like the difference that you guys get just on your stage time opportunity, even though that stage time may not be like the best stage time, it's still you doing jokes on a stage.
It's still there. And to be honest, like there's a lot of comics in Canada. There's tons of comics and there's people who do it for other reasons. People get into it to like, get out of their introvertedness, which is weird, right? Like it's maximum, but whatever. So sometimes people dip in for like a year and then disappear and whatever, right?
Yeah.
So stage time is still hard to come by because of that, but there's a lot of opportunity, right? And if people see you and you're either funny or they like something about you, it's good, right?
I think that I also think that a lot of it comes from persistency.
Yeah.
Like if you just stick around, someone will give you an opportunity.
Yeah, to a degree. Right?
Yeah, you still have to be funny. That's still a thing.
Yeah.
But like even if you don't know anyone, you can like go into a scene and just do shows, do open mics and meet people. And at some point, if you do it enough, someone's gonna go like, "Hey, I have a show, wanna come?"
100%.
Yeah.
Comedy, it's kind of a disease, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think about quitting so often because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, it's nothing epic, right? So you're like, okay, well, what's the point? Like, what am I doing? But then you still keep writing stuff and you're like, well, I want to try and work on this. And you enjoy being funny, right? Like, when you're on stage and you're doing well, it's just amazing. It's just such a nice feeling.
It's like at one point in your life, you flip a switch and you start thinking in funny.
Yeah.
And that switch can't come off.
Yeah, I see
You can
that.
stop maybe writing stand-up, but you're still doing stand-up.
Yeah.
With your friends, people on the stage, like in a shop.
Sometimes it's hard. Like if I'm trying to tell someone something serious, sometimes they laugh.
Yeah, that happens to me.
And you're like, no, like you actually have to do this right now.
Yeah, especially because I'm kind of a dick.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole, and like I don't mind telling people stuff.
I see that. Yeah.
And people, I like go, yo, this outfit not working for you. You're too fat for that. You need to go and change. Haha, Vid, you're so fun. No, dude.
Jeez, that's ice cold.
No, that's a friend. That's a friend.
You know what? It'd be good if you told people, if you have boogers in your nose.
Yeah, do that also.
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, that's like, or stuff in between their teeth.
Yeah.
Like, but if you had a friend who dresses wrong, you have to tell them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everyone has their own style, right?
Yeah, but still, like if you're 50 pounds overweight and you're wearing skinny jeans, like someone needs to tell you, dude, you're pushing the fat up. Like,
I can't comment anyone in North America, but you Croatians, get the fuck out of the skinny jeans, okay? It's different.
But like, I get you. Like it's so hard to flip that switch, and you kind of have to do it when you start doing it.
Yeah.
And what do you see yourself? Do you plan like doing it for how long? Like until you have fun?
My cousin asked me that a while ago. He's like, "What's your plan with comedy? Like, when do you pull the plug, if ever?" And I'm like, "You never do. I don't think you can, right?" I act, so I want to get more into acting. I don't really plan to ever stop doing stand-up because it's one of those things that you keep developing.
Yeah.
And the more you're on stage, not just that, like, I don't want to say this because it's going to bother you, but the more you're on stage consistently.
I know. I know.
So
trust me.
months where I have shows lined up like every day is amazing because you're like, okay, like you start feeling the momentum.
A month I did in the States.
Yeah.
Did more for my comedy than like 4 years before it.
See, it's just the consistency, right? So yeah, I don't really want to ever quit stand-up, but also just comedy in general. Like I write, so things I write are comedic.
Yeah.
Not always, but like I enjoy writing that stuff. So you can always, as long as you have an outlet.
Yeah.
Right? As long as you have an outlet for creativity, it'll keep flowing. I hope.
Do you plan on moving from Toronto or?
Not now. I want to live in New York a year. But right now I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, I kind of also want to do New York, but it's too cold for me. So
I got married last year, so I have to. Thank you. So I have to like consider more, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, well, we'll see. Might be in New York for you.
New York is not a bad place to move.
No, it's not horrible.
And it's a 10-hour drive from Toronto.
Yeah, I would never drive, but it's like an hour flight.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, it's super close and it's great. Like it's such a freaking nice city.
By the way, like super close to you means like literally half of Europe.
Yeah.
Like a 10-hour drive, you come to half of Germany.
Europe is insane. We were in the water and we're like, well, where's Italy from here? Yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, well, right across this body of water, that's Sicily right there. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, just directly across the water.
Yeah, Sicily's further south. Yeah. It's like Genoa.
Yeah,
or something like that.
He said it's like 400 kilometers.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane, right? Like, that seems like something you could do in a boat.
Yeah.
Right?
A ferry.
I was thinking like a paddle boat.
Yeah, you're thinking like a Czech.
Yeah.
No.
Get over there. Oh, right. That Czech guys and yeah. It's your version of Florida man, eh?
Yeah. If you guys don't know, do yourself a favor. Write down, Google search Florida man and your date of birth. Click the first article. You're gonna have fun. Mine is man on mat, Florida man on mat, like himself on a birthday party.
Oh wow.
By accident.
Yeah, I can see that. That can happen to the best of us, right?
Yeah. Like especially if you're
yeah, the meth isn't helping.
Yeah. It makes you more flammable.
Yeah.
Just by friction. And everything. Thank you, bud. I really hope you have a great show tonight.
Thank you, man.
Our show tonight. And I hope that your career like goes wherever the fuck you want it to go.
Up, man, straight up.
Yeah, but like with your wife and everything, consideration,
yeah.
I want it to be like exactly the way you wanted it.
Thank you, man.
Be,
thank you for the customization.
Thank you for this and thank you for coming to Croatia.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much, man. That's such an awkward answer.
White and brownish.
And the question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. I end every my show the same question.
Okay.
It's my favorite question in the world. I read it and read it. If you could clone yourself right now, and all of those clones would be at exact physical and mental state as you are right now, how many of you would it take to take down a gorilla, adult male gorilla, in a hand-to-hand combat?
No weapons.
No weapons.
I worked out a couple days ago. I did shoulders, so that's still feeling pretty good. I mean, like, what does it cost me more to clone more? Fuck it, give me 20.
Oh, so like you went with more like, yeah, fuck it, give me 20.
Give me 20. 20 of us could take down a gorilla.
It's a 300-pound gorilla.
Yeah, I'm like 190.
But you're 190 of flabby stuff.
Yeah. What, the gorilla's muscular?
Gorilla is like pure muscle.
Yeah, I'm still going 20. What are the others going to do? The others are just going to be standing there. There's no room.
You need to go in like rows.
Like army style?
Yeah.
No, man.
Like 5 by 5.
20. I'm going 20.
Okay, that's a fair point.
I'm telling you, man, this was a good shoulder workout. It was really, yeah.
Google hairless gorilla. We talk. Thanks, bud.
Thank you, man.